Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're watching me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passioneers Network, where we amplify the voices, elevate the culture, and champion the musicians. Go ahead and go into our store and get anything that you want, and you can get get it for 30% off. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Um, this one kind of fell. Well, I'm not even gonna say it fell under the radar. You know why it fell under the radar? Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Like, you know why it fell under the radar. Do I got to say it out loud? Does the quiet thing have to be said out loud? Anyway, so apparently, Harvard Radcliffe Orchestra got in trouble for hazing. It went down in Harvard Radcliffe Town. Uh, so I'm gonna read some of it. This happened. It says it's updated September 26th. The Harvard Radcliffe Orchestra was suspended by Harvard College for the rest of the fall semester as a result of an investigation into alleged hazing. Right. College administrators informed student board members of the suspension shortly after the orchestra held its annual retreat, which occurred off campus at the Greenwood Music Camp in Cummington, Massachusetts on September 6th. So obviously, as you all know, when you start talking about or hazing situations, all of it is going to be hearsay until the investigation ends up happening, and they have to find reason or rationale or truth behind said hazing. And so they're going through the investigation process is basically what it's saying. The funny thing to me, or I don't know if you want to call it funny or whatever, but the interesting thing to me is the fact that it took place at a music camp. Like, what are we doing at a music camp that we need to be getting down? Like, real talk. We're not even going to talk about the fact that it's an orchestra. We're not even going to talk about the fact that I've said before, I just don't understand getting hazed up for band. I mean, band music or whatever. That's not going to make me play any better. And I say that with all humility because of the fact that I know, not in my college years, but I know that I have participated in some type of situations like that before. I will not say my college years because I did not. That was not something that happened to me. It's very interesting when I hear stories from other people in other places that just didn't happen to me. But the investigation was sparked after a freshman submitted a complaint related to activities at the retreat, according to three people familiar with the matter. So here we go. So this is where it could be a slippery slope. It could be a situation. First of all, I don't know. I can't I really can't mentally pinpoint what you would be asking a freshman to do at a music retreat that would make them feel like they were being hazed in the first place. I mean, if you ask them to do push-ups and they didn't want to do push-ups, I don't even know why you would want to be doing push-ups at a music retreat. If you ask them to run, I don't understand that either. Asking them to drink something or making them eat something or drink something to something to that degree, maybe, but I still don't understand it in the sense of it's a music retreat for an orchestra. Now, they may have their quote unquote games that they play or initiations or rituals or whatever. Then I guess I can see it from that lens. HRO President Veronica A. Lee, 26, announced the suspension to orchestra members at a Wednesday evening rehearsal, according to three club members. Lee did not respond to a request for comment. They don't want to talk about it. During the suspension period, the orchestra student board will no longer be permitted to meet for club activities, and the organization cannot host social events, according to three club members. So basically, their meetings are shut down. They basically can't talk about the operations of the organization, things that they want to be able to do, things like going out and maybe fundraise or something for the orchestra. That's basically what that is. So that's fair. I think that's fair. According to the HRO's music director and conductor, Federico Cortez, I hope I said that right, the orchestra will still be allowed to rehearse and hold concerts during the suspension period because it is also an academic activity. That To me, that stands out. That stands out. I'm going to tell you why it stands out. Because on so many occasions, we've seen whole programs be shut down for hazing situations. We've seen whole programs be shut down, and I got to put it out there, for fights that have happened in the past. I distinctly remember 2 band programs that were completely shut down. I think it was for a year because of a fight. Those are also academic, because marching band is a class for multiple people, specifically those who are on scholarship, specifically for those who are music education majors. And they shut them bad boys down. Ain't no rehearsal, ain't no performances. And the fact that they still get to rehearse and perform, and the rationale is because it's an academic activity. I guess my argument, or my question would be, did they argue and advocate for this? And has that ever happened on the flip side, on in our spaces? Have we argued and advocated for the fact that, oh, we're about to shut you down? This is an academic activity. They need to still perform. I'm just asking. I'm really just asking. But the orchestra will not be able to use the HRO name. Oh, that's gonna hit your pockets right there. Like, nobody knows that's them performing. Like, come on. They can't hold meetings, and they can't do fundraisers, but they can still perform because it's an academic activity, and they just can't use the name. Oh my gosh. Shut it all down. This is gonna hurt them more than it hurts me. I'm just saying. I mean, I guess the HRO's first fall concert is scheduled for October 4th, which is since passed and has been publicized on Harvard's official office for the arts website under the club's name. I want to make sure that the orchestra complies with the decision and everyone understands exactly the terms of the sanction. Y'all still practicing and performing, man. I mean, we don't get to use the name. Associate Dean for Student Engagement, Jason R. Mier, wrote to the Crimson that we can't share details about individual student matters, but the college is committed to following the federal Stop Campus Hazing Act, Massachusetts state laws, and Harvard University hazing policy. Just as importantly, we're here to support students and student organizations. Wow. Student engagement is dedicated to working with student groups to create safe, positive, and welcoming experiences for everyone involved in clubs and organizations. The RHO, which is more than 200 years old and frequently performs, well, there we go, alongside professional musicians, is also scheduled to hold a second concert later in the fall. They're still performing. Listen, I understand the investigation is going on, and I think that the investigation needs to continue to happen until they come up with something that substantiates whether this is a true allegation or whether it isn't, whether this is something serious that they need to take or talk about, or whether this is just a freshman saying something that they thought may have been hazing and it really wasn't hazing. But my thing is, at the end of the day, when it's us, news big. Let me be clear, and I stand by everything that I've always said. I don't agree with none of it. I don't think that any of it is necessary. And I think that the quote or term hazing can be a slippery slope sometimes. But I will also say that when we're talking about an orchestra, I don't understand what we need to be hazing for. Not to mention the fact that, they took away the name and they can't hold meetings and have fundraisers, but they still perform. Which again begs the question of, is that usually an argument when it happens on our side? Or does anybody even think about that? I'm not even talking about from the band director's perspective or the the music department's perspective. I'm talking about from all the way to the top of the administration. Do they ever think, well, this is an academic activity, so we need to make sure that these kids still perform, these students still perform. They just can't wear the regalia. They just got to go. Everybody got to go in white t-shirts and shorts. I'm just asking. I'm wondering, because that's the way I see it. I'm wondering, when these things happen on our end, one, obviously it gets blown up. But the second thing is, do we even talk about the fact that these kids still got to get that grade for that class? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm off my rocker. Maybe I'm just tripping, man. But you guys tell me inside of the comment section, did y'all even know about this? And somebody sent this to me, so I appreciate y'all for sending it to me. But yeah, man, did y'all even know about it? Tell me what you all think about the comment section. Do you even think that when it comes to our schools and our situations like that, that they need to move in the same way, that those kids still need to be able to perform? They just don't wear the name or the label because people still know that it comes from the school, man. But anyway, outside of that, man, go ahead and go by our store, get anything that you want. You can get 30% off your purchase, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.